It's difficult to find many problems with Avatar: The Last Airbender. The show is beloved for a reason. It brought emotionally rich storytelling, sophisticated themes, and character arcs that still resonate nearly 2 decades later. Few shows, animated or otherwise, have nailed tone, pacing, and growth, as well as Atelier. However, despite its near-perfect execution, the series wasn't flawless. Throughout Aang's journey to master the four elements and restore balance to a world torn apart by war, Atelier wove in several subplots to add depth and complexity. Some arcs, like Zuko's redemption or Toph's journey of self-discovery, were highlights. Alongside these solid arcs, there was one noticeably shaky narrative thread that felt like a detour rather than an enhancement to the overall story. While many subplots in Avatar: The Last Airbender were celebrated, one left fans divided. More specifically, a romance involving the show's main hero. No matter how nostalgic some fans may feel about it now, the reality is that the relationship between Aang and Katara just didn't work. When discussing problems with Avatar: The Last Airbender, Aang and Katara's romance stands out as the show's most underwhelming arc. It was clearly intended as a core emotional thread, yet it lacked the nuance and care seen in the rest of the series. In a show filled with complex motivations and earned moments, their relationship felt underdeveloped and oddly forced. Their conversations were friendly, even affectionate, but nothing suggested a gradual build-up to the grand romance the finale pushed. From the start, Aang's feelings for Katara read more like a one-sided childhood crush than the foundation of a meaningful romantic arc. He idealized her, but the show rarely showed. Their conversations were friendly, even affectionate, but nothing suggested a gradual build-up to the grand romance the finale pushed. Meanwhile, Katara's emotions toward Aang always felt like they were driven more by jealousy of others than anything else. She often seemed indifferent when Aang's feelings surfaced, but disliked the idea of anyone else receiving his affection. Unlike Sokka's evolving relationship with Suki, which was packed with mutual respect and growth, Aang and Katara's dynamic felt like a shallow, almost high school-like attraction. The romance didn't meaningfully impact the plot either. While Zuko's arc directly shaped the series' themes of identity and choice, Aang and Katara's relationship rarely drove conflict or resolution. That lack of narrative weight made it feel more like an obligatory pairing than an earned emotional payoff. One of the most telling problems with Avatar: The Last Airbender's romance subplot came in Season 2's The Cave of Two Lovers. After being separated from the rest of the group, Aang and Katara find themselves lost underground. The episode plays up the idea that love will lead the way, and the two characters emerge after what appears to be a kiss in the dark. The problem with Aang and Katara's first kiss is that it was barely addressed on screen. Not only is the kiss shown through a cutaway and implied rather than confirmed, but the moment also feels like it happens for plot convenience. They needed a way to leave the cave, and instead of it feeling like a natural emotional beat, it read more like a gimmick tied to the episode's theme. Unlike the first steps in the journeys of many other romantic couples in Atelier, there was no proper lead-up, no emotional climax, and no real fallout afterward. Katara immediately brushes it off, and Aang looks sheepish. Nothing about it felt like the culmination of a brewing connection. If anything, it made the supposed romantic tension feel less authentic. Compared to other key moments in the show, which always felt carefully constructed and emotionally honest, Aang and Katara's first kiss was oddly rushed and forgettable. The writers were clearly planting seeds for the eventual romance, but instead of growing organically, the moment felt shoehorned in. It also undermined Katara's character. She was written with a strong moral compass, empathy, and clarity, but here, she's left fumbling for emotional consistency. As one of the few awkward emotional beats in the series, it remains one of the most jarring moments in Avatar: The Last Airbender. The biggest fixable problem with Avatar: The Last Airbender's romance arc was simple: motivation.